And place both hands on your belly. And close your eyes and just start to slow your breath down. So just starting to slow everything down and become more focused. Noticing how you really feel in your body right now. Notice anywhere that you might hold on to some tension and trying to let go of that. And then also starting to become more aware of your strength, and especially starting to feel your core muscles engage as you exhale. Slowly allow those core muscles to draw in towards your spine and your hips and your shoulders. And remember to engage in a way that you're not tensing up your body or causing any more stress. You're simply providing more security and stability for your bones as you start to move. And then as you inhale, let those muscles relax and stretch and expand. And as you exhale, gently engage your core muscles again. So remember that includes your pelvic floor. And as you're here breathing, just kind of check in with your neck. You might need to stretch your chin down a little bit towards your chest just to lengthen through the back of the neck. So again, coming here throughout everything that we do, whether it's considered hard or easy, what's so important is that we're allowed to take this time to start learning more about ourselves and our body and how we move and how we lay down and how we stand up. So let yourself really feel free to move in your own way in your practice today, but definitely focus on keeping yourself safe, your body strong, yourself free of tension and stress. So go ahead, if you haven't yet, bend your knees, place your feet flat, feet are hip distance apart. Reach your arms up over your head and try to press the backs of your hands down into the floor behind you, and use that to help you kind of draw the shoulder blades down the back. Tuck your chin again if your chin is lifted up, and feel a nice deep stretch through the arms and the shoulders. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, draw your navel in towards your spine. So engage all of your core muscles. And then begin to push into your heels and lift your hips up, coming into a bridge pose. You might lift your toes up a little bit. I want you to feel easy in this bridge pose. So, of course, using your back muscles to help lift you up and support you and hold you where you're at, but also finding a sense of softness in what you're doing right now. Take another inhale, and now lift your heels and slowly come all the way back down with your hips and your heels. And then take another inhale, fill your lungs. As you exhale, engage your core muscles, push into your heels, lift your hips up, reaching your tailbone towards your knees, keeping the belly pulled up and in towards the spine. And now lift your heels up, and on an exhale, roll all the way back down. Good. And do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale, engage your core and push yourself up. Feel that nice stretch through your hips. Lift your heels and curl all the way back down. Now bring your heels down. Take another inhale. Exhale, push into your heels. Lift your hips up and stay up this time. Bring your arms into robot arms so that your elbows are bent by your sides. And I want you to shimmy yourself from side to side and try to get your shoulders up and underneath you a little bit more. Again, check in with your neck. Stretch the back of the neck long. Now put your hands, your fingers on your pelvis, on the top of your pelvis. Maybe you've got your palms resting on the sides of your pelvis. I want you to hold your hands there so you can tell what's going on with the hips. So without moving your hips at all, slowly shift your weight over into your left leg and pick up your right foot. And the first step is the hardest step. We're going to bring the foot back down softly and then lift your left foot up. So just knee bent, little kind of bridge marching here. Right knee lifts up. And as you're moving, again, you're trying to just move your legs. How does your lower back feel? Keep your core muscles engaged. Now lift your right leg. Go ahead and push your foot straight up to the sky. Push down into your left foot. And on your inhale, just lower your hips down and let them hover about an inch above the mat. And then exhale and push into your left heel and push your right heel up to the sky. Lift your hips up again. Slow. Inhale, lower the hips. Exhale, navel to spine, push down through your left heel, push up through your right. And then do that again. Inhale. And exhale, push down into the left heel, push up to the right. Hold here. Hold. Hips are still stable and strong. Cross your right knee over your left knee. And then keep your knees crossed, bring your hips down slowly. Pick your left foot up off the mat, stack your knees over your hips, and we'll come into eagle pose on our back. So wrap your right elbow on your left, and you might bring your palms together. You might bring your hands to your shoulders. Glue your thumb to your forehead. Now, without moving your legs at all, inhale, exhale, and just sit up and really try hard to touch your thigh with your right elbow. And then inhale, lower down slow. Try to keep your spine in neutral as you're moving up and down. Exhale. So that means you feel a gentle lift of the low back away from the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Come up. Hold here. Hold here. Keep your legs the way they are. Unravel your arms and reach your fingers towards your toes. See if you can lift up just a little higher. And now keep your legs crossed. Inhale. Exhale. Rock up to boat with your legs crossed. So right ankle crossed over left. You can always bring your hands behind your thighs to give you a little bit more support here. You can also bring your hands behind you. We're going to move in and out with the legs. So on the inhale, we're going to lean back and straighten the legs and try to pry the feet apart. And then exhale and sit up. And do that again. Inhale, lean back, exhale, sit up. And do that again. Inhale. Exhale, sit up. This time, lean back. Hold here. Hold. Try to stay lifted out of the lower back. And then slowly come down and bend your knees and place your feet flat. Arms in robot arms. So press your shoulders back. Pull your belly in towards the spine. And then push down through your heels and lift your hips up again for that bridge. And so just be aware again of your hips and trying to keep them steady as you move your feet. And let's go left foot lifts first and comes down softly in right foot. Good. And then left foot, hold it here. Extend your left leg straight up to the sky. Push down into your right heel. I want you to feel your right hamstring and glute, especially as we move. So inhale. Lower your hips down with control. Exhale, push through both heels and press the hips up. And then inhale. Exhale, engaging the core muscles. Strong exhale. Inhale. And one more time. Exhale, lift up, hold. Cross the left knee over the right knee. Slowly bring your hips down. Stack your knees over your hips. Wrap your left elbow under your right elbow. Eagle. Glue your thumb to your forehead. That's going to help your neck. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift up. Try not to move your legs at all. And try to press your left elbow towards your left thigh. Inhale, lower. Fill up your lungs. Exhale, slowly. Navel to spine, sit up. One more inhale. Exhale, sit up, hold. Release just your arms, lift a little higher. Take an inhale. Exhale, sit up in your boat. Grab your legs if you need, hands behind you. Sit up tall, left ankle crossed over right. Inhale, lean back. Again, try to pry those legs apart. And exhale, sit up. Inhale. Exhale. Again. So you may not be going quite as low. Do what works best in your body. Please don't hurt yourself. Pull here in your boat. And then take a rest. Hug your knees, give yourself a squeeze, straighten through your spine. Good. All right, now come back into boat pose. You can make it an easy boat pose or legs extended, arms overhead. And do a couple of rounds of boat coupled with some prep for arm balancing. So from your boat, cross your right ankle over your left ankle, and then lean your body forward. Put your hands by your side. If you've got blocks, that's a really nice way of doing this. And shoulders down on the back. Exhale, curl forward like you're doing a crunch, an abdominal crunch. Push into your hands and lift your hips up. And now, if you're good at this and if you have long arms, I always blame my arms, you can lift your feet up too. And then bring your hips down and come back into boat pose. This is an Ashtanga prep for going from flowing from boat into handstand. Now cross your left ankle over your right, hands beside you, curl up, shoulders down, push and lift your hips up. You should feel that in your belly. And then bring your hips down. And now, one more time. In your boat, and now we're going to try this. Take your legs apart in your boat. Be holding onto the legs here. And then as slowly and with control as you can, bring your heels down. And then readjust your seat. You might sit up on a block, but we're going to try that same thing we were doing, lifting our hips up. Same thing with different positioning in the legs. So turn your spine, twist to the left towards the left thigh. Put your hands on the inside and the outside of your left thigh. And now again, shoulders need to be down the back and stay there. And now lean forward, curl forward over your leg and lift your hips up. And maybe lift your heels up too. I didn't do it yesterday, I'm not doing it today. And then bring your hips down. Again, 2 blocks will help quite a bit with this. And then twist to the right, push down into your hands, curl your spine, pull your navel in, lean forward a little bit, and then lift up your hips. And maybe lift up your heels. A lot of core strength. Good, and bring it down. Nice, and then rock forward to your tabletop position. And spread your fingers really wide. Remember to root down through your fingers so you're not just collapsing into your wrists. We're going to come into a cow pose, but I want you to go slow, of course, and extend through your spine. So before you go into your fullest expression of cow, I want you to pull your chest forward and stretch your hips back, and then begin to engage your back muscles to bring you into your back bend. And keep pulling your chest through your shoulders. And keep stretching your hips back and up. And now exhale, pull the belly up away from the floor. Curl through the front body. Push down into the hands, tuck the chin. Pull the navel up and in. Good. Again, inhale into cow. Now we're going to do something different this time. Flatten your feet so the toes are pointed. Exhale into cat. Push down to the head, spread the shoulder blades apart, and now lift your knees up off the mat. So you're in a hovering cat pose. Again, pull the belly in. Bring your knees down softly. Inhale into your cow pose. As you exhale, pull up. Round, round, round. Push down into your hands. Push down into the tops of your feet. Lift your knees up. And bring your knees down one more time like that. Inhale. You should feel your muscles in your back really waking up. Exhale. Same thing with the muscles in the front of the body. Bring your knees down. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Go back slow. Move around a little bit. See what feels good. Stretch through your arms. Stretch through your sides. Spreading out the fingers. Let go of any tension in your neck. Don't worry about getting your heels to touch down on the mat. Focus more on getting more length through your spine. Now, here's what I want you to try and feel in your down dog, is that you're pushing the tops of your shoulder blades away from one another as you bring the bottom tips of your shoulder blades towards one another. Breathe. Good. On your inhale, come forward into plank pose. Feel that same action in the shoulders. Good. Go back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come up high to the toes. Come forward again into your plank position. And as you exhale, go back to down dog. You can bend the knees. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. Stay here this time. So feel like you're trying to pull, you are trying to pull your chest forward. Stretch your heels back. Stay in your plank, but bring your forearms down slowly onto the mat. We're going to do a little bit more, a lot more core work. So again, feel that action of the tops of the shoulders apart, bottoms together. And now what we're going to do is we're going to lower down halfway to Sphinx. So keep the belly lifted. Start to lower your knees and your hips down to hover above the mat. And then as you exhale, lead with your belly and push back up into your forearm plank. You might even lift your hips up a little bit higher. And then inhale, halfway down to Sphinx, belly stays lifted. Exhale, push up and press down through the forearms. Good, do that again. Inhale and exhale to push up. And lower, slow, slow, slow. Come into Sphinx pose. But make this, of course, a very active Sphinx where you're pulling with your hands. You're engaging with your back muscles towards the spine to help you find that extension, that opening through the front of the body. Stretch your legs back out of your hips. And then begin to lift your legs together up away from the floor without lifting your hips up. Just lift your legs up. Keep pointing the toes, stretching the legs back. Still pulling the chest through the arms. A lot of work happening right here. Breathe. And then lower down slowly. Pause. Breathe into your back. If you feel like you need to shake your hips out a little bit, go for it. Now, prepare for your push-up. So elbows in, shoulders stable, belly lifted. Exhale, push up through plank or modified plank, and then back to downward facing dog pose. And stretch back out through the arms. Reach through your sides. Good. Now look forward without reaching your right leg back. Just pick up your right foot, shift your weight forward, and bring your knee towards your right elbow. And you might touch it, you might just be pointing it in that direction. Left leg is super strong. And now reach back, inhale. This time, knee to left elbow, and it might touch, it might not. Keep your hips high, shoulders spread the same way, bottoms towards one another. Reach back, inhale. Exhale, round through your back, come up high on your back toes, and step your foot through between your hands. Step your left foot up to meet your right. Okay, inhale, lift halfway up. Now, you can use a block here, or you can put your hands on your shins, but bring yourself up so that you're pretty parallel to the ground. And whatever you've got your hands on, really push down to help you engage your core and to help you find more length through your spine. Tuck your chin, reach out through the crown of your head. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, sit back into chair pose, Utkatasana. Weight is in your heels. Try to relax. Notice if you're tensing up anywhere in your body. On your inhale, straighten your legs and come all the way up. As you exhale, sit back down into your chair pose. This time, bend your elbows and draw your shoulders down the back. Good, and then inhale and stand back up. Exhale, sit back down. We'll do a little yoga marching here. So as you come up this time, push off from your left foot and pick up your right knee. And stand up really tall, hold here, reach up through the arms, engage your left glute a little bit if you need to, so that you're lifted. And then sit back down. And now this time, push off from your right leg, lift your left knee up, lift your right hip up off of your right thigh, and sit down, and right knee lifts. Stay here. Reach long. And now we're gonna exhale. I'm gonna take my arms back like I'm going into warrior three, but instead my intention is to tap the back of my mat without touching down and then coming all the way back up with the knee up. Good, and then again, stretch back. Try not to let your left knee go past your toe. So you may not tap, and inhale, come up. This time, reach back, tap, and then shift your weight back a little bit, coming into your crescent lunge. On your inhale, straighten through your left knee. And as you exhale, bend both elbows, bend both knees, draw your shoulders down the back, bring your right knee down to the mat. Now push off from your left heel as you come back up, stretch up through the arms, stretch up through your sides, exhale. Hovering that knee above the mat, inhale. Exhale, and keeping the hips square, so keeping the hips pointed forward. Inhale, stretch up, stay here. This time we're gonna come into a balancing pyramid pose. We're actually already kind of balanced, but we're only gonna come halfway. So come to that point again where your torso is parallel to the ground and you're stretching through your spine. Your left hip comes back, your right hip comes forward. Now bend into your left knee and slowly shift your weight into your left leg, step forward into chair pose. On your inhale, straighten your legs, come up. On your exhale, sit down, shoulders down the back. This time, push off from your right leg, lift up your left knee. Stand tall. And then tap your left foot back. Take your time, slow, slow, slow. Try to just tap them out. You might not even tap them out. I forget that with my short legs, I can do a lot of stuff that long legs can't. Just being closer to the ground. Inhale, lift up. This time, we're gonna step all the way back. So slow, slow, steady. Come into your high lunge. Square the hips. Straighten your right knee, take an inhale. As you exhale, bend both knees, bend both arms, bring that left knee down. Push into your right heel to come up and exhale. Good, inhale, rise. And last time, exhale. Come back up, inhale. Now hips square, separate your hands, reach your arms out to your sides, and reach forward through your spine. Breathe, long, straight back. And now bend into your right knee. Take your time as you shift forward and come into chair pose. One more time. Bring your hands to your heart. Rock your weight forward into your toes. You know we're gonna do it because we always do. Come on down for crow pose. So bring your hands down, spread your fingers. If you know it, go for it. If you're working on it, spread your fingers, hug your elbows in, spread the tops of your shoulders apart, bottoms together. Bring your knees to your arms and push your knees and your arms together. Pull your belly in and then rock your weight forward and see if you can pick up one foot and then the other foot. Are you breathing while you're doing all this? If you know this posture really well, try going straighter with your arms in this position. Are you breathing? Keep coming back to that. Now, if you're jumping back, jump back to chaturanga with your shoulders stable. So we're not jumping back to plank. So otherwise, step back to plank, lower all the way down to your belly. Bring your arms out wide, chin to the mat. Press into your toes, engage your legs, and then lift up for locust pose, lifting the whole body up away from the mat, stretching back through the legs, reaching forward through the heart. Try not to shoot your chin forward, tuck it in a little bit. Now you can stay here, or you can bend your knees and bring your big toes together and start bringing your heels closer to your butt. And as you're doing that, push the mounds of your big toe together, lift your hips higher, lift your spine up more off the mat. Bring your feet in closer. We're not grabbing the feet. We're just making our way there. Reach back, a lot harder. And then when you're ready, slowly, gently release, turn your head to the side, breathe, and shake your hips if you want, bend your knees, sway your legs from side to side. Feel your heart beating. Bring your hands in line with your chest. Hug the elbows in. Exhale, push up. Come up to your hands and your knees, and then downward facing dog pose. Big deep breath out and in. On your next inhale, reach your right leg back behind you. And as you exhale, bring your knee down the middle, step your foot through, place your back heel flat. Now stay down, draw your right hip back, pull the belly in, come up for warrior one. Readjust your hips if you need to, or your feet. You want to feel grounded, really rooted from the hips down and then from the hips up, reaching and stretching. Bend your elbows and then bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers together. Lift your chest up to the sky, push down to the back edge of your back foot. And then exhale and begin to slow, slow, slow. Come into your humble warrior so that you know you're not moving around in your hips, you're not collapsing into your hips, your legs are strong, your core muscles are supporting your spine all the way down into the fold. Keep the low belly, especially the right side of the low belly, feeling like it's lifting up away from your right thigh. Now push into your feet, come all the way back up, warrior one. Exhale, bring left elbow under right. So we're going back into eagle pose, this time standing. Go slow, so lean your weight forward. Feel that stacking of the joints before you come up and cross the left knee over the right knee. Tuck the chin, long neck, hug the upper inner thighs together. Slow down your breath. Try to breathe in and out through the nose as best as you can, filling the lungs and emptying the lungs. Good. Now release the arms, release the leg, and as slowly as you can, you step back to warrior two and open up, giving yourself space. And we'll move a little bit here without the support of the arms. So again, really using the core muscles to help keep things stable and strong. So we're going to inhale back to reverse warrior, but I want you to reach your left hand down towards the ground and reach your right arm over your ear. And as you exhale, now come forward, reach your right hand down towards the ground and reach your left arm over your ear. Checking in with your hips and your legs all along. Inhale. So really just the upper body is moving here. Exhale. Not collapsing into the right hip there. Inhale. This time we're going to come into half moon. Okay. So you might need to scoot your back foot in. You might need to move away from the wall that is always in front of you every time you go into this posture. But take your time and just lift up out of your right hip, opening up, stacking, breathing, maybe putting your left foot on a wall to help you feel that action of in the legs. Maybe bending your left knee and
reaching for your foot or actually taking a hold of the foot. And when you're doing all of that, when you're challenging yourself more, again, make sure you're breathing, make sure you're staying connected and strong. Good. Now, softly, softly, softly step back to warrior two. And now windmill your right arm down and then your left arm, and bring your right hand to your sacrum and bring your left hand inside of your right foot. And you can put your hand on a block or just keep it on the mat. Take an inhale, lengthen, stretch from your heel all the way up to the crown, and then twist to the right. And if it feels good, you can reach that right arm up to the sky. And as you're twisting, I want you to think about here now, putting some focus on that left shoulder, because a lot of times it rolls forward like mine is now. So we're going to bring the left shoulder, we're going to soften the elbow and rotate the arm bone outward so the shoulder goes down and back, okay? Because we're going to make a transition to side plank. So walk your right foot over to the right and come into your side plank. So you might start with your foot down, again, checking in with your left shoulder. If you want to do something else from here, you can stack the feet, you can take tree, you can lift your leg. Again, are you breathing? Are you staying out of your left shoulder? Now we're going to bring the right forearm down to the mat as slowly and as softly as we can. So turning onto your right side, forearm comes down, roll over to your left side now. Right shoulder down and back. Lift up, use all the muscles on the right side of your body. We're going to add on a twist. So take an inhale. As you exhale, twist, reach underneath you. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Empty out, pause. Inhale. Exhale. Last time here. Come back to your side. Now come to both forearms. Always moving as gracefully and as fluidly as you can. We'll walk the feet in for dolphin. This is a good time, again, to check in with that action in the shoulder blades and broadening through the upper back and drawing the tips of the shoulder blades down and closer together. And then you can walk your feet in a little bit closer and maybe lift your right leg up. Good, and then you can go for your left leg. Stay in touch with the shoulders, full deep breath, relax what you can. Good, if you want to play here for a little bit, please do. Kicking up into a forearm balance. When you're ready to come down and rest, I want you to come into this traditional child's pose shape, Balasana, bringing your fingers back by your feet and just resting your forehead on the mat. Slowing down the breath again, breathing into the back of the body. Good. Now from here, from this child's pose, take an inhale. And as you exhale, draw your navel back towards your spine. Hold empty. Push down through your shins and come all the way up to your knees, sweeping the arms out to the sides and up overhead. And then with control, exhale, hinge at your hips. Reach your hips back towards your heels. Bring your hands back by your feet and your forehead down. And do that again. Inhale, we rise up. Exhale, we go back slow, slow. Reach those hips back. Do that again. Exhale, hips go back. All right, this time hips come up, hold here. Take your right leg and reach it out to the right. On your exhale, we're gonna bend to the right, but as you're bending, I want you to pick up your right toes and turn your knee and your toes upward. So external rotation of the thigh, reach and stretch through your left side body. And then as you exhale, go ahead and rotate your right foot back down. We're gonna bring the left hand down, but first I want you to practice trying to balance just on your right knee. and staying lifted up out of your right hip. And then softly bring your left hand down under your shoulder. Reach your right arm over your ear. Lift up out of your right hip. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Good. Inhale, reach. And exhale, elbow to knee. Reach long. Bend your right knee. Reach back. See if you can find your foot. You might not. You might just be reaching. Lifting up out of the hip. Turning the shoulders, the chest up more towards the sky. Staying lifted out of that left shoulder. Gently let go of your foot if you have it. Bring your right foot down and sweep your arms out and up. And as you exhale, half child's pose, sit your hips back towards your left heel. Pressing out through your right foot. Good, and then inhale to come back up to your hands and your knees. And then go back to your downward facing dog pose. All right. Now, I genuinely did not forget about this, but we're going to do the 3 knees on the left now as we switch sides. So pick up, without reaching your leg back, just pick up your left foot and bring your left knee towards your left arm. Inhale, reach back. And exhale, knee towards right arm. And then reach back. And now come right down the middle with control, stepping through for your warrior 1 pose this time. Coming up when you're ready. Lifting through the chest, stretching up through the arms, pressing down through the feet. Bend your elbows. Turn your hands over and then clasp the opposite way. You might keep your elbows bent. You might straighten through your arms. Take an inhale, go slow. Exhale, humble warrior. So it's really easy. So many of us, we lock out our elbows here. Try to keep that from happening as best as you can. Lift your left low belly up off of your thigh. Breath full. Breathe into the shoulders. Come up slowly, not collapsing into the hips. Take your arms up over your head. Bring your right elbow under your left elbow, eagle arms. Very carefully step forward and up into your eagle. Take your time. Cross the right knee. Sit down. You can always put your right toes down. Soften your gaze. Good. Now release and arms up, leg forward. Step back as slowly as you can into your warrior 2 pose. I'm going to scoot myself away from the wall now. Opening up through the hips and the heart. Okay, now we'll come into that unsupported humble warrior. So as you go back, just reach your right fingers down towards the ground and reach your left arm over your ear. Really push into your back foot and use the strength of that leg to support you, to lift you up off the thigh. Good, exhale, side angle, left fingers reach down, right arm comes overhead. Inhale, go back. Exhale, come forward without sinking into your left hip. One more time to go back. And then exhaling and finding your way into half moon pose. Another trick is to get close enough to the wall with your head that you're able to push the crown of your head into the wall. You might bend the knee, find the foot again. Try to keep the left knee soft. Hip lifted, breathe. And then slowly, softly step back to your warrior two. As you exhale, windmill left arm. Right arm comes forward, back heel lifts. Come on down for your twisted lunge. So left hand on sacrum, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist it to the left. You might incorporate that left arm and you might not. Sometimes by having your, not sometimes, always, if you have your hand on something, you can use that to help you, assist you, again, in pulling the shoulder back, drawing the shoulder back. Now we're going to come into our side plank, so prepare yourself. Right shoulder back and down. Shimmy your left foot out, however you want to get into it. But you know what I say, what I think, the slower the better. Feel every step along the way. Feel the legs working, the hips, the obliques, the shoulder. Good, now left forearm's gonna come down this time. Slow, roll over. Right foot out in front if you want. Left shoulder down and back. As you exhale, reach underneath you. Inhale, open. Left shoulder strong, exhale, twist. Inhale. And exhale. Last time, open and bring both forearms down to the mat. Walk forward into dolphin pose again. And I'll let you play here with just noticing, feeling, starting your foundation it's your arms and your shoulders now instead of your legs and your hips. So spread the shoulder blades apart, stabilize the shoulders. And usually where we run into the biggest problems when we actually start to come up into an inversion is that we let go of the stability in the shoulders as soon as we start to lift up. When you're ready to come down into that little pea pod, child's pose. Take an inhale. As you exhale, draw your navel back towards your spine. Hold empty, push down through your shins and come all the way up to your knees. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly with control, hips go back. Come on up, inhale. Exhale. This time, staying up on the knees, take your left foot out to the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale as you bend to the left, pick up your toes, rotate your thigh. Toes pointed up to the sky. Taking some big deep breaths into the right side body. Inhale, rise up. And put that foot down, but not for long, because we're going to try to balance on that right knee. So right hand comes up, foot comes up, we're balancing. And then bring your hand down under your shoulder. Lift up out of your right hip. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. This time, inhale, reach. Bend your left knee. Keep breathing, reach back. So that left shoulder is open up. Maybe you find the foot, and maybe you don't. Lift out of the hip, lift out of the shoulder. And let go of the foot, bring your foot back down. Come on up. And now send the hips back to the right heel. Breathe. Bring your hips up. And come to your tabletop. And go back to your downward facing dog pose. Now this is where we're going to insert the possibility of another arm balance if you want. And remember, it's not can you do it or can't you, it's just exploring what's available to you today based on, am I tight here, am I tired here, am I injured here, all that stuff. But it's just fun to play with it. So we're going to come back into a downward facing dog, and I'm going to face the camera for a minute so you can kind of see what I'm going to do here. So from your down dog, we're going to take the right leg and reach it back. And then as you exhale, bring your knee to your elbow, just as we do often. Now, you can keep your knee on your elbow and start to lower down into chaturanga. Only come down a few inches. Your shoulder blades should be stable on your back. Now, from here, you can start to bring your chest lower, and you can extend your right leg out, and you might be able to pick up your back leg, even if it's just for a minute. And then stretch your right leg back behind you. And as you exhale, bring your knee over to your left elbow. And there's an arm balance here, but I don't know, I don't think I can do it. Now reach back, no rush. Bring your right knee to your right wrist, point your toes at your left wrist, hold in this hovering pigeon. And then softly set your shin down. Stretch, so keep leaning forward, stretch your left leg back and back and back and back out of your hip. You can put a block into your right hip, point your back toes, come on up. And as you're here, if you're feeling any pinching in the low back, lift your hips up a little bit, pull your belly in. Now see if you can push into the top of your back foot. Engage your left glute a little bit and then lift your quad up. Lift your chest up. And then you can set that knee down and walk your hands forward for your sleeping pigeon pose. Bringing your forehead down to rest on something, maybe a block or your arms. And then really try to stay present and aware of whatever the experience is that you're having. Allowing yourself to make adjustments as you need to so that you feel like you're in a better space, better place. You're certainly expected to feel discomfort, but recognize when that's pain and try not to even get yourself there. That's why I like moving slow. We move into it too quickly. Crap can happen very quickly that isn't good for our bodies. Good, and then walk your hands back to your hips. Now really press down into your hands. You can tuck your back toes, lift your hips up, lead with your belly, stretch back, shake out that left leg if you want, or that right leg if you want. Open up the hip. Find your way back to downward facing dog pose. And then we'll try that arm balance on the other side. So first, set your shoulder blades. Reach your left leg back. Float it up. Exhale, bring your knee to your left elbow. So your part might just be holding here. You might start to, so I shift my weight forward a little bit as I lower down towards chaturanga. That's my next step. Then I come down a little lower. I might extend the left leg out. And then as you rock your weight forward, is where you're able to pick up that back leg. And sometimes you can cheat, just not that I'm encouraging that, but you do want to hug your elbows in really nice and tight, and you might support yourself a little bit with your arms. All right, stretch back. Inhale. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, stretch back. And exhale, Hold your pigeon, you're hovering. And lay that leg down softly, stretch your right leg back. Use your props as you need them. You can use a block, you can use a blanket, a bolster, a pillow. Try to keep the hips square, belly pulled in. Point your back toes, push down to the top of your foot and try to lift your kneecap up. Right glute is engaged. And then lay your knee back down and find your way into your sleeping pigeon pose. Stay in your body, stay with your breath. And then walk your hands back. And this time we'll just swing that right leg all the way around. Bring your block with you or your bolster or your blanket or whatever it is you're using. Come down onto your back. And a couple of options here is to, surprise, surprise, finishing with a supported bridge. So block under hips. What I want you to really think about doing here is relaxing your hip flexors, your groin, the front of your hips. So you might extend your legs out long. If that feels okay on the low back, you might need to readjust where the block is, or that might just not work for your lower back. But try to relax wherever you are. And just let your whole body melt into the block, especially your hips, obviously. Just let them melt. Every time you exhale, just get heavier. Use your inhale to create more space through the front of your body. If you're comfortable here, please stay. The next option is to move into an inversion if you'd like. So if your legs are extended, I recommend slowly pulling one heel back at a time. And then extending one leg at a time up to the sky. At this point, if you want to drag yourself over to the wall and put your heels up on the wall here, you may. You can keep that block lifted underneath your hips. Or you can stay here just like this. If you choose to go back into, oh, I forgot to turn my ringer off. If you choose to go back into plow or shoulder stand, I encourage you again to use your core strength to lift your hips up. So you might bring your arms beside you. If you're not used to this these two postures, be careful of your neck and maybe don't do it. So we're going to lift the hips up using our core strength. And then bring the legs back. So you never want to turn your head from side to side in plow or shoulder stand. Shoulder stand, the legs can come up. Be really mindful of your neck. Try to get those shoulders up and underneath you. Wherever you are, just stay fully aware, observing where you're at. how you feel. Staying with that slow and steady breath. And then again, if you're coming out of plow or shoulder stand, you want to come down as slowly as you can and see if you can come down one vertebra at a time until your hips touch down. And then you can bring your feet down. Again, if you want to take your Shavasana as a supported bridge or as Viparita Karani, legs up the wall, please do. Otherwise, you can pull the block out from underneath you and extend your arms and legs out for Shavasana. Of course, if there's anything else that you want to do before going into Shavasana, please do. Set yourself up so that your body's in good alignment. So your hips are level, your shoulders are kind of tucked in underneath you, palms are open. You might rock your head from side to side, lengthen through the back of the neck. And then let everything go. Let go of any control over the breath. And it might be helpful to start at one end of the body, maybe start at your toes, and just body part by body part, just move all the way up towards the crown of the head, just very slowly and deliberately relaxing every single muscle that you feel along the way. You did a lot of core work, so making sure to really try and relax all those muscles around the hips and the spine and the shoulders. Relax your jaw, relax your forehead. It can be overly challenging to take Shavasana at home or to be still at home. So try to honor yourself and give yourself at least one more minute here in stillness. If you're happy where you're at, please stay. Otherwise, deepen your breath. Make small movements in your body, gradually, gently, making your way out. Stretch your arms over your head. And roll over onto your side. Take a breath or two here. And keep your eyes closed and keep your neck relaxed and press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Still observing, feeling, noticing. Bring your hands together, your heart center. And bow your head in honor of yourself, in honor of your practice, and in honor of one another. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me this evening. I hope you feel wonderful. If you want to stay in Shavasana, please do. If you need to get in touch with me for anything at all, you can get in touch with me